could also buy and resell cards from season to season. The buying a deck outright usually costs somewhere between $50 and $150 for the tier 1 decks. I have a list of budget decks here as well that are reasonable and competitive. The cheapest one in there is like 20 bucks. We're actually playing against Ali Eldrazi, who is Ali Andrazi, who's a Magic player if you're familiar with them. One of the things you'll notice here is that my opponent and I each have different portraits, and this is not just cosmetic. The portrait determines some of our attributes that each deck has, so they also determine our starting life total. So champions and Hex vary in their starting life total somewhere from 16 to 26 points of life. I have 23 life to start, and for 4 charges, my champion makes an extra threshold, which is kind of like a color. And Ali's champion is a control champion. It takes 2 cards from his discard pile and shuffles them back into his deck and modifies them so when they play this, they draw a card. Is combo viable? Are there any archetypes? So, there is a Storm-esque deck that's solidly tier 2.5 this season. It's a little bit slow, so it's bad against the aggressive decks, but it's good against the more controlling decks in the format. And there is a Reanimator deck that's probably pretty close to tier 1. There's a couple different Reanimator variants that have all seemed reasonable and successful this season. My team worked on a Reanimator configuration for the last CCS, so Copycat's kind of an interesting use of the Hex resource system. So this card is free to play. It doesn't cost me any resources to play out. But it requires that I have played 5 Sapphire Shard. So basically, it doesn't cost me any resources to play, but kind of think of this as, hey, you have to have 5 islands to have played this free card for the turn. So I'm going to go ahead and activate my champion power, and what this allows me to do is it kind of lets me accelerate how quickly I get my extra threshold. So now, even though it's only turn 4, I have a 5th Sapphire threshold so I can play this Copycat. Playing the Copycat's kind of bad if he has an Evaporate. So Copycat's a 1/1 that when it comes into play, it copies target troop. But if Ali doesn't have an Evaporate, I guess they could have Into the Unknown too. Maybe this is bad. This might be bad. Might be right to play out or just denying it. Okay. So deny. So Hex has a chain where you can interrupt the cards, and this just interrupts one of the cards that I've played. So you can see my Copycat went to my Crypt. It was, yeah. Hey, look at that. My fiber is almost done uploading 3.5 gigs to YouTube. Weird. God bless. God bless us. Every fiber. Focus. Holy Shagabar! With the host, 352 people. Welcome to everyone coming over from Holy Shagamar's channel. We actually just stopped playing Magic here. We're playing Hex Shards of Fate, which is a fully digital TCG. So you can see every time Ali plays a card, this card lights up. Because this card has a triggered effect that says whenever my opponent plays a non-resource card, it creates 2 spider eggs and puts them into my opponent's deck. And then when my opponent draws this spider egg, I get a 1/1 unblockable spider. I'm going to go ahead and play this Tribunal Magistrate out here, which is a second one, which would cause every time they play a card. So that lit up. So they countered my Tribunal Magistrate, but they got 2 more eggs in their deck. I'm going to attack them with both of these. Knock them down to 12. Consult the Talon is a 7-cost, draw 3, but it has a mechanic called Mobilize, where it's similar to Convoke, only for every troop that I exhaust when I play this card, it reduces the total casting cost by 2. So I can tap both of these dorks to make this only cost 3. I'm going to go ahead and try and... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and cast this. Let's see if Ali has another interrupt. He's denied my first 2 plays here. Ali likes to play slower control decks in this format a lot of the time. In every format, really. Alright, so they have a 3rd deny. I'll play that resource out and pass the turn. Ali's deck generally plays a lot of quick troops, so I really don't want to attack in my Commander P.R.O.M.P.T into a possible quick troop. Hopefully we dodge Windsinger here. This matchup was not intentional. I just queued in. I queued in on the ladder. And we queued into Ali, who is playing today as well. Alright, let's try and Consult the Talons again here. Maybe I'm just supposed to play this Shard and hardcast this for the full 7. Ooh, it resolved. That's really good. Alright, I'm going to play this Copycat out. I don't think holding a Shard is super relevant for Empress in this matchup. Alright, so Ollie's played a Pipit Hustler here, which is going to be a 3-4, and it's going to turn this into a random different troop that costs 1 less. And then my Copycat's going to turn into this other troop, and then this will revert back. So we just switched over to Hex for Magic. We were playing some Legacy earlier, and you can see here my opponent Ollie drew a Spider Egg, so I now have an unblockable Spiderling here. Normally a 1/1, but it gets bigger from my Tribunal Magistrate and gets bigger from my Commander P.R.O.M.P.T. Huh. I'm just gonna try and draw some more cards here. Just keep burying him. Ding, ding, ding. Attack with the Spiderling. When this attacks, it gets +2 power because all of my exhausted troops get +2 power. Alright, another Pipit Hustler, sure. And you can see Ollie's all the way up to 57 cards in his deck because every time he plays a card, he gets 2 more eggs in his deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this Empress of the Ice out. And Empress says, this is the prison aspect to this deck that I was talking about. So Empress says, whenever I gain a Sapphire threshold, so whenever I play a blue resource, I get to exhaust one of their cards. And this says, as long as I have 5 or more Sapphire thresholds, my opponent's cards don't ready. So this is just going to stay exhausted until they take this Empress off the table. Why should I have played the Skitter pre-combat? Oh, yeah, I should have played the Skitter pre-combat because when this was a Tribunal Magistrate, it would have made the spider bigger. Good call. I technically didn't get punished for my mistake, but that was in fact a mistake that I made. Oh, in a pretty good spot here. Okay, Pipit Hustler, I'm assuming this is going to transform my Empress of Ice. Sure. Got a Deathless Guardian. It has Swift Strike. Okay, so if Ollie, this gets +1 power for each attacking troop. If Ollie blocks here and here, he's going to take a bunch. Alright, I'm just going to attack with everything and see how things shake out for us. No, but I consulted pre-combat, Matt. So if they don't have some kind of interaction here, they are dead. You have a Transmog for this, maybe? That would be kind of bad for us. Deep Freeze just puts it back in our hand. That's annoying. I'm not willing to spend this Transmogrifade yet because Allie's deck plays a card called Windsinger, which is a really powerful 6-drop. So if he hits a 6th resource, I want to be able to Transmogrifade that. When I play this resource, it offers me a Fate Weave prompt, and what Fate Weave does, it kind of lets me stack my deck. So I'm going to choose to put a non-resource on top of my deck here, so I'm guaranteed to draw some action next turn, basically. And Ollie's got 56 cards in his deck, 55 now, and a bunch of them are Spider Eggs from when we were pumping those in there. So hopefully he jams Windsinger here, we'll Transmogrifade it, and then he'll lose the game. Only have 3 cards left here. Yep. And you go ahead and shuffle those 2 cards back into their deck. Have another Deep Freeze, maybe? Nope. He has Windsinger. Alright. Have a Transmogrifade. Another Commander P.R.O.M.P.T. Ding. The fries are done. Alright, so what do I want to do in this matchup? Our main deck's just like pretty good here, right? I guess Commander P.R.O.M.P.'s maybe a little bit medium. Transmogrifade's okay. I don't know that I want extra. Verdict of the Ancient Kings interrupts a non-troop card, so I think that's probably okay. Warpsteel Shardsworn's kind of medium because it doesn't attack profitably into their Brown Fox Scouts. Yeah, the Psychic Ascension seems fine. I can see that. The game could often go long. Cut another Skittering Cultivator or Warpsteel Shardsworn, maybe. It's probably fine. Do I want the Transmogrifade just because of how good Windsinger is? I feel like I see enough cards, and like I could copycat their Windsinger. Just looking to not get Dread Ended. Do they play Dread End in their board? Alright, opponent mulliganed. Yeah, Sand seems fine. Tribunal Magistrate's pretty good in this matchup, so I think I'd like to keep it opening with that. Would like to draw a 2-drop ideally, or like an Arcane Focus, but this hand is fine. A lot of these Winter Moon decks don't even play Psychic Ascension for whatever reason. Focus. Would love another Empress. Really don't need another Shard. Yeah, the jungle battle board's really sweet. So, worth noting, Ollie does not have double Sapphire here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play this Tribunal Magistrate out. He could have Transmogrifade to just like turn this into something worse, but this is our best chance to resolve this underneath counter magic here. And like if he Transmogrifades it, I still have a threat on the table. I guess I could get Pipit Hustlered here too. Was that a Well of Purpose? What? Okay, fair. Why does he have a Mill Gem in it? That's really good against us. Transmog it. Transmog was a great draw. We're going to bring in the 4th Transmog for the 3rd game. I didn't realize that, I didn't realize they'd be boarding in Dark Hearts. I should have realized that. There's one of the 2 spiders that was in their deck. That's pretty funny. The Winter Moon decks that top 8'd the... What's it called? Had them in the board, so it's not really that surprising. So I'm going to go ahead and play this other Empress out. And then I'm going to play this Shard. And then we can Consult the Talons. And we can Runebind their counterspell on our Consult the Talons. So this Consult can go down to 1 when I exhaust 3 troops. Just gonna go ahead and pass the turn here. If they play Windsinger, I want to Runebind it. Sure. Champions. That's probably better for him than it is for us. Hopefully they don't have a focus or something to force a shard to get this back right away. We need time to dig for a Transmogrifade. Evaporate, sure. We'll be able to play that back out here in a little bit once we play all of our shards. Yep, just looking for answers to this. Or ways to clock our opponent faster. Ding. Play this, exhaust the Pipit Hustler. Oh, I just not Runebind and Ensip. That's a good call. I guess that is objectively better. Yeah, not give him a chance to sorcery draw. Yeah, that's fair. I wanted to, like, play around some kind of giving a troop spell shield, but that's probably not something that they're playing realistically. Alright, so we know one of their 2 cards is a resource right now. Alright, hopefully their last card's not a counterspell. Ding. Oh, yeah, that's true. If he had deny. That's actually really fair. That wasn't a thought in my head. I was thinking something stupid, like, about spell shield things, but, yeah, deny is actually a real reason to not have I like how he didn't play his resource for the turn. Like, we know you have a I know he has a resource. Ooh, Pipit Hustler. Yeah, I'm gonna Runebind this to keep my Empress around for a turn. Otherwise, all these cards are gonna ready and we're gonna lose this race. Alright, there's your non-resource for the turn. Next turn, we'll be able to make Ruby and then play Ashwood Maestro. Off our champion power. Would not mind drawing, like, Consult the Talons or something like that to gas back up a little bit. Any of our payoffs are good. Tribunal Magistrate's great. Commander P.R.O.M.P.T's great. So, Ellie's got one resource and one non-resource in hand right now. What does this let them do? Gain control. That's so weird. Okay. So they gain control of this until end of turn. Okay, sure. So he's just, like, denying me Dreadlings next turn by not attacking with this. That's neat. Makes drawing a Prompt or a Tribunal Magistrate less good. Yep. That's cute. Okay, so now that's why they waited on their resource, because it's got Fate Weave. So now we can Fate Weave a resource on top so he gets the Pipit Hustler back next turn guaranteed. Oh! My Dreadlings don't die. Did I miss lethal now? I might have missed lethal because of that. Am I 3 points short? I might be at least 3 points short. These die at the end of my turn. So I punted by blocking his Dreadling. So he didn't actually do anything, but he did because I punted. Okay. This is 9-13. Yeah, he would have been dead if he doesn't have a way to interact here. Yeah, so if I hadn't blocked, this was lethal. Alright, didn't matter. Exhaust your Mysterious Rune. I assume this is coming into play for them next turn. Really? Okay. So we stacked a non-resource on top. Interesting. Yeah, punt counted. So you can lock them with Empress starting on turn 4 and Copycat starting on turn 4. Is this attack lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's exactly lethal. We know he drew a non-resource. So GG's. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. The matchup seems good for Empress. They don't have, like, the quality... I don't have the quality stuff that, like, Sapphire Diamond Control has to, like, make this matchup difficult for us. Alright, I'd love to go first. So opponent's playing Ivan Slagpot. If you're still one of the Magic players in the audience, one of the things that's really awesome that I enjoy about Hex is that we get to make informed mulliganing decisions. So the champion kind of tells us what deck my opponent is likely playing. It's no guarantee, but they're likely Ivan Slagpot, the most popular deck that plays that champion, is a Blood Ruby aggressive deck based around the Dreadling mechanics. This hand's really pretty powerful. Warpsteel Shardsworn makes an extra body when it comes into play, and then Skittering Cultivator. So if we hit a non-slow shard here, we can go Warpsteel into Skittering into Consult on 3. Am I just skittering to start here? Nah, I'm gonna do this first. I think they're pretty unlikely to cremate half of this. His name is Uzzu. Of course they're playing red legs, right? If we hit a non-slow shard next turn, we should run away with this game in a pretty big way. So you get to be really aggressive really quickly. So my opponent's played a 4-4 for 2 that at the start of every turn it gets -1/-1 permanently, and they can sacrifice another troop to revert their thing. We hit the resource that I wanted, so let's go ahead and play the Skittering Cultivator. And then this Consult the Talon is going to exhaust all 3 of these troops to draw us 3 cards. Animated Mellow with the brand new $4.99 subscription. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here, so thank you. Alright. Now we can see, I don't think we can 24 them this turn. If we draw another Copycat, we might be able to 24 them this turn. Yeah, second Copycat I believe is lethal. Okay, so we didn't hit the second Copycat. So how much damage can we deal? So Tribunal Magistrate gives my spiders +1 power for each venom I control. And I'd have 1, 2, 3, and this would be 4 venoms. So they would each get +4. So these would be 9. That's 18. 19, 20. I could deal 21 damage this turn. That being said, I think I'd rather just Empress this turn and lock my opponent down. No, that's not lethal, right? So, Copycat costs 0 resources to actually play out, but it requires that you have played 5 Sapphire thresholds. I've watched for a long time, but not always able to catch the stream, but I love to watch your YouTube vids when I get home from work. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thanks for stopping by today. We're streaming a little bit late because my normal morning stream was canceled because we got fiber internet installed, which is great. They actually can't support us on Twitter. That's not how that works.
That's what you sound like.
That's my supporting wife in the background.
I'm like the supporting character. Your supporting wife. Supporting character.
So then next turn we can play Tribunal Magistrate plus Copycat and attack a whole bunch. Yep. I uploaded. Do you see my tweet?
94 or something?
No, I uploaded my Magic archive that I just streamed to YouTube while still streaming here, and it uploaded in 5 minutes.
Neat. Doesn't it usually take overnight?
It takes a couple hours.
Hi. Haha, you guys can't come in here. Mom and Dad are in the safe zone. Wow, maybe you should consider winning.
We're winning. We're kind of winning.
Virgil says I'm higher than you on the ladder still.
You are, yeah. Huh.
What's a fiver?
Did I mess this up? I might have messed this game up.
Knock it off.
Can you get off me? I need to count.
It's fine, I can count for you.
Huh.
This costs
So,
0.
stop it.
You should target that.
I think we actually need to hit another. So if I play just Tribunal Magistrate out here, each of these will have +3 power from the Venons. I could play this too. If I play this and this, they would be +4 power each. So this would be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If they have Lasgars, we might lose this game. So I think I'm supposed to consult and try and find another Copycat. If we find another Copycat, we can kill them here. Which we did. Okay, so we play. So we play this Copycat. Actually, the Runebind worked too, right? So we had a lot of hits there. Runebind did it as well. They could play a second red next turn, though. So now I have a second Empress. So now I play this and exhaust both of their dorks. And then I'm going to play this Tribunal Magistrate. And then I'm going to Copycat the Tribunal Magistrate, which will make these Dreadlings have 9 power each, though we're going to attack for 20. So, good clean 20 ball here on turn 5.
You just attack with Dreadlings. I see
I like this Empress deck a lot. It gets to draw cards. So
scratch my shoulder right where your beard is. Harder. I'm not doing a good job.
You're not doing a good job. Love you too. All right, so
I'm not good at Hex either. What are you good at?
what am I good at? I don't know. I'm not good at anything. I'm so sad all the time. I don't actually know what we want to board in here. I should have thought about this match when we built this board. I feel like I want this extra Transmogrifade. I also feel like I kind of want this Treacherous Pass, but I don't really want to cut anything in my deck. I guess the Warpsteel Shardsworn's kind of medium. It helps with powering out the Consult the Talons, though. Commander P.R.O.M.P.T is excellent because it shields us against Lasgar's Vengeance. I'm going to cut these and bring in this and the Treacherous Passes and see how this feels. Not 100% sure this is correct. The Treacherous Pass Skittering Cultivator curves are really powerful, though.
Come on, child.
I'm going to be on the draw this game. So, the thing about Runebind is, and this is really neat, when you have Commander P.R.O.M.P.T out, you can Runebind their Lasgar's Vengeance, and then not attack with your troops the following turn, so when they replay the Lasgars, your things no longer die. So, I think this card's actually really good in this matchup. This is probably too slow. Double Consult's a little awkward. Seems better. At least I actually kill my opponent. Like, Lantern Control doesn't actually kill you, it just makes you sit there and watch. Alright, the illusion of choice. Yep. Consult. Put a non-resource on top of my deck here, looking for some 2-drops. And the Consults are a reason to keep the Warpsteel Shardsworn in for sure, right? And maybe the Treacherous Passes just aren't good enough. And if the Treacherous Passes aren't good in this matchup, we probably just don't want them in my deck. Yep. So their champion power for 3 charges makes them a Dreadling for each different Underworld type card they control. I'm gonna go ahead and transmog this one before it attacks, because it has speed. Dark Collector's kind of annoying. They were good in this deck last season. In this matchup, they were very, very good. I spent a lot of time working on this archetype last season, and the pass was very good in this matchup. That being said, the addition of Runebind might make it the case that we no longer need pass in this matchup. Because you needed pass to kind of accelerate your draws out underneath Lasgar's Vengeance, and Runebind just kind of lets us interact with it, right? Alright, so I'm going to transmog this one and runebind this one, and then they might not get any dreadlings here. Yeah, they're not going to get any dreadlings here. Just like stop your champion power in the dirt. Play my Empress out. Play the Sapphire resource, exhaust the Gravengeist. Activate my champion power. Exhaust something else that's irrelevant. Oh, actually. No, yeah, it's actually relevant. This transforms, right? Hey, holy Shagabar with the Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you for the free money. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the host earlier today as well. Yeah, that's fair, Bob. So this card, every turn, they lose 2 life and it gets a counter. And then when it gets 4 counters, it turns into an 8/8 with flight. Sabertooth, that's gross. That kills my Empress. Kind of up a creek here. Need some action. Copycat, huh? So, I'm going to play this Copycat out as a Gravengeist. And the only reason I'm doing this is because it puts a troop into play for me, which means I can exhaust it to play this Consult the Talon. Alright, we've got another Empress for next turn then. Sounds good. I can scrounge this Empress? No, there's only one in there. If they don't have Lasgars, they're going to be in a pretty good spot. If they do have Lasgars, they're going to be able to clean our board up and beat us down. I'm going to hold this extra Copycat just in case they have a Lasgars. Sack their thing too. Sure. Wouldn't mind a resource here. This is actually going to turn into an 8/8 next turn, so a Sapphire would be kind of nice to exhaust these things. Alright, Tribunal Magistrate, sure. Play a second Tribunal Magistrate out here. If they have a Lasgars, they can't play it yet. We're gonna take a hit for 8 next turn off of this thing. What's under here? Deathseeker. Now every time they play a card, they get 4 eggs in their deck, which usually isn't going to be relevant in this matchup. They're almost certainly going to attack us with this, I think. If they have a Lasgars at 5, they can attack us with both, and then we'll be in trouble. Hey, drew a Tribunal Magistrate off of our deck, sure. So probably don't have a Lasgars. It'll be interesting to see if they attack with this or try and be defensive with it. I feel like they just need to smack me with it. Because if I draw a Sapphire here, I just get to exhaust this. Well, that's great. It means my stuff doesn't die to Lasgars Vengeance anymore. It also means that if I draw a Sapphire Shard, I'm going to get to tap that and then crack him in the air for lethal. They can have, like, Sabertooth plus Lasgars. They're not just out of it. They could have, some of these decks play Noxious Glory in the board. They play Blood Shard, Noxious Glory. I should play this because it means that if I attack with all my flying troops next turn, they die. Right? They block one of these and they take 11. Oh, they drew a resource this turn. Hopefully it's not Blood Noxious Glory. If they go Blood Noxious Glory, we are very dead. Noxious Glory, for those that are wondering, it, actually, I wonder if this works. Look at that! MTG bot automatically switched to the right game. That's so sweet. Double Lasgars would also do it here. They could have that. Okay, maybe not. We're currently just dead on board. I guess they could have Casualty of War here. That's so funny. I'm gonna make them have Casualty of War. Even if they have it, like, I'm still gonna have an Empress left over. And we got him. Sweet. Am I higher than Christy? Am I higher than Christy? 25? That's probably higher than her. Yeah, she's down there at 29. For everyone, Krillydactyl is my wife's account. Hi, Declan. Dad's gonna play one more match and then we can go play outside, okay? Yeah, shoes. Go outside. Alright, let's queue one more up here. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. Mom's upstairs, go get her. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors, inkedgaming.com and Hex Primal. There are discount codes for both of those services down below the stream. HexPrimal.com buys and sells Hex TCG cards. You use code Jeff5 to save 5% on your orders there. And inkedgaming.com does customized gaming accessories. They do play mats and mouse pads with their own custom artwork, as well as whatever images you have the legal right to distribute there. Got our last victim of the evening here for the Empress deck. Hand's pretty good, right? Focus on 1. Shardsworn on 2. Tribunal Magistrate on 3. Man. This deck has to be pretty good in Immortal now, right? Because, like, this deck got a pretty sizable power level increase, gaining Runebind, but the standard version of this deck, so the gems in standard rotate on the offset, so, like, we don't have a... This doesn't make Dreadlings anymore, but in Immortal, that still makes Dreadlings. Opponent's playing a Fury Chant deck, so whenever they have a constant entry player under their control, it deals damage to us, so we're just going to need to be aggressive and kind of race our opponent here. Hopefully we could do that. Yeah, Runebind's a main deck way to interact with Extinction. Like, that's pretty big, right? Well, that's really fortunate for them. So they triggered the Runic off of their champion power, so they're able to play this, because this costs 2 less for every action you've played in the turn. Kind of sucks. I think we need to Transmogrifade that for the turn. I'm gonna play the Sapphire Ice out here and put a non-resource on top of my deck. Transmogrifade this before they attack. Turning things into random 5-drops can be scary sometimes. I'm gonna turn it into a 3/3 that doesn't come back at least. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to have done that. Although they didn't play anything this turn, so like no harm, no foul, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna play these out. Start getting some spiders in their deck. So we kind of got punished here, because like if I would have waited a turn to Transmog, I'd have only taken 1 more point of damage, and like would have been able to play Skittering Cultivator this turn. Zigman's game. Okay. Runebind's actually really awkward against them because it turns... Huh. Do I just want to Runebind their Fury Chant? No, it's going to make me take damage either way. Killed my Copycat. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna Runebind my own thing. And then this just goes away, right? Yep. Sweet. God, they have another Phoenix? Tilt. Probably just dead here. Opponent's hitting us for 4 in the air again next turn. Empress would have been good there so we could stop the Phoenix from readying. We definitely lead at some of our more aggressive draws in this type of matchup. Seems a little bit slow and interactive. Alright, Empress could potentially win us the game. Yep. Can't do anything. What are we doing here? Runebind seems pretty terrible. Verdict seems fine. Transmog seems fine. Frostbite seems fine. Seems okay. Yeah, I might could just leave 3 Transmog. Transmog Phoenixes is kind of medium. I think I'd rather Frostbite and just double time walk them. So Frostbite costs 1 and double stuns. Maybe that's a little bit clunky and expensive. I think I'd rather Transmog and Frostbite and just like try and win on a tempo plan. Like they're putting a lot of pressure on us, so I feel like I don't have time to just like pay 3 to interact with their card that just like they didn't pay any resources for. Like I have Transmog and I have Empress and stuff like that, so I feel like I have a lot of quality answers to their things. I don't need like a clunky answer to their thing on top of all of those. Seems fine. So Arcane Focus is looking for like a Warpsteel, Shardsworn, or Skittering Cultivator. Huh. Take a cat. That's okay versus Fury Chant. Again, I feel like just like trying to kill them. Like what? Okay, so here's a better question. What card in my deck right now do you think is worse than Into the Unknown? So like that's the way I always like to look at it when I'm not sure or like I feel like it's a close decision. Like, is there a card that I'm currently playing that you look at and go, that card's a lot worse than Into the Unknown. Into the Unknown should be in my deck instead of that card. I feel like all of the cards in our deck right now are like advancing our primary game plan nicely, or like they're interactive and efficient. So like Into the Unknown isn't efficient, it's interactive. No, I think Empress is great. Empress kills them and it keeps their Phoenixes locked down. I have to actually kill them. They need to die. Attacking them with a 2/4 is fine. If we don't get Zigman's game tier, we can go Sapphire Ice, put a non-resource on top, champ power, copycat this, play Consult. Of course, we got Zigman's gamed. But again, I think Tribunal Magistrate is important too. We just want to like have a big critical mass of things, basically, is what it comes down to. I think I'm holding this back to block. I feel like I'm just on defense here. They've also, like, they had their best curve 2 games that are right. Like, they had Arcane on 1 into Fury Chant on 2. Get that right on out of here. They've got 4 actions in there. So this is going to come back eventually, but we'll take it off the table for now. Buy ourselves some time. Hopefully draw Warpsteel Shardsworn so we can use these better. Skittering Cultivator. It's okay. Hit a non-slow shard next turn. We can cast this right away. Otherwise, we'll have to wait a turn for this to diligence to make 2 Dreadlings. Hopefully we don't get Pyrestruck or Sabertoothed or something here. Sweet. I guess we could still get Pyrestruck. Non-slow shard, please. Hats. Yep. Consult is definitely awkward sometimes. If they don't take this off the table, this makes 2 guys, then we can play a Consult for 1 resource next turn. Sweet. They're just flooding out here a little bit, which is good for us. They'll give us time to capitalize here. Right on time resource, so kind of wanted those in the other order. A Uber Mikey. Mr. Promptly, pass the turn. So next turn we're attacking for 14. Or I could just draw more cards. I might just draw more cards. Like, we could also die here. They could, like, have a really strong turn. Like, play a bunch of stuff. I might play one of these. And then attack for 5. That's even reasonable. Cutting a Consult seems fine. I don't think cutting any of the threats are good. I don't think cutting threats are good. Now I'm going to exhaust this one because I don't want to attack this one into here. Man. Take me down to Brick City. Sweet. Play this Empress. Play the Sapphire, exhaust your Phoenix. Keep it exhausted. And I think, but like, again, I think like we were talking about Into the Unknown, I think if I was to bring in another card like over a Consult, I think I'd want the 4th Transmogrifade before I wanted the first Into the Unknown, especially on the draw when like I'm going to be losing tempo. Them drawing a bunch of these and not drawing any actions is real good for us. Their last card's an action that could hose us potentially, but if it's not, do we have lethal? 4, 9, or 1 short of lethal here. Right, I'm 1 short of lethal. This is going to be 10, 8, yep. Okay, so how many Copycats have I played? Just 1, I believe? Huh. If I hit a Copycat, it would be plus 6 damage if I only have 3 guys. So that would be 10, 17. I'm gonna exhaust just 1. Alright, well, you know, they're bricking 2, so got that going for us, I guess. It's annoying, but not the end of the world. Yeah, Copycat costs 0. But I wanted the ability to like play something like Transmogrifade or Runebind if I drew it. So that's why I exhausted this one, because I wasn't attacking for lethal either way. Sweet, we won that game. I like the idea of cutting a Consult after how that game played out and bringing a Transmogrifade. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. This hand seems fine. It's a little bit resource heavy, but these coins can cycle if we draw too many more. Use this. Guarantee a non-shard on top of our deck. No plays on 1 or 2. That's good for us. We managed to win a game where, like, they played their ideal constants on 1 and 2. Consult's a great pickup here. If they don't Runic Missile this down, we'll be able to Consult next turn and draw 3. Fury Chant, sure. Of course they have a Runic Missile. Good beat. That's a good draw. Am I playing this turn? Yeah, I think I am. Just like the most resource efficient play here. If they have a Pyre Striker or Sabertooth, they have a Pyre Striker or Sabertooth. Hopefully they brick on this for a turn. So that way we can Consult next turn. Nope, not likely. Ooh. That seems good for me. So this draws 2 cards, and they have to play them right now. They had a Zygmun's game, and they hit my Empress of Ice. God, that's frustrating. Huh. Most decks are strictly worse than Tron, so that's probably true. Well, they're bricking at least, so we got that going for us. If they brick one more time. Would like to Consult next turn. Major resource, so we cannot. Yeah, boarding one of those out seems great. There's a water bottle right there, dude. You see by the TV? Look, 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 right there. Right there. See it? See it right there? God, another one. Fuck me. Alright, yeah, let's play this, and then we'll pass the Verge of the Ancient Kings up.
I see, Mom. I see. Do you see
I'm gonna counter this. Part of me wants to protect my threat, but this generates a lot of charges, which gives them a lot of draws. Okay, so they riposted me, but that means I'm gonna get my Verdict back, so it's technically card disadvantage for them, which seems reasonable for us. Because they don't have anything to Verdict here, unless they have a free spell to play out. So we're Cree-baiting, and then we're Cree-baiting again? Okay, sure. God, that's frustrating. Alright, we have a Verdict back at least. Empress, Empress, Empress. I'm just going to play this coin out, I think. If I would have played it out last turn, I would be able to hold up Verdict right now. Which is kind of sad. Hopefully we dodge Pyre Strike for the turn. We might get punished for having held that coin. I thought I wanted to cycle it, but... I hit a draw 2. Good beat. Good beat, good beat, good beat. And I would have been able to counter that with this Verdict of the Ancient Kings if I'd have played my resource out the turn before. Huh. This gives them a window to hit us with a Phoenix, so I'm not holding up the Frostbite, but it also means that next turn I can go Empress, Skittering Cultivator, and hold Verdict of the Ancient Kings up, which I think is reasonable. Sweet, I don't have anything. Maybe I should hold... No, because I want to play both of these and hold that up. I have Champion Activation 2 here if I need thresholds down the line. So So, Empress, Skittering Cultivator. Yeah, and not to... Okay, I was going to say not to toot my own horn, but purely to toot my own horn. The challenge that I got 12th in, one of my 2 losses was to Magic Online being bugged, so... Yeah. Yeah, I was a little salty about that. And then, so... That tournament was just like mono salt for me, actually. So, in addition to losing, I lost the first round to a Magic Online bug, and then my second loss was to someone who could have conceded to me, and we both would have been in the top 8 if they would have scooped me into the last round. And instead, they beat me when I was a good matchup for them. The client locked up, and I clicked to bin their cards for Gifts Ungiven against Storm, and it binned the wrong cards. So, was a little annoyed at that. And then there was some karmic justice, like the person that dream crushed me out of the top 8 lost in the quarter. So get wrecked, nerd. They were playing some green devotion deck with like main deck acidic slimes and primal commands and stuff, just like attack my lands and have a reasonable clock. I'm gonna hold this Copycat. We have lethal on board. Am I gonna hold this Copycat? If they have a single removal spell, I won't have lethal. Yeah, not a problem, Lone Goifer. I appreciate you stopping by and watching the content. Fireball my cat. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, right? And I mean, like, top 16 of those events is, like, okay. And, like, I got my entry fee refunded. So I technically made, like, 60 bucks, like, top 16 in the event and didn't have to play top 8. But it would have been nice to play for the first place prize again. I don't think I'm supposed to verdict this. I think this is fine. Okay. The first place prize is okay. It's worse than the Bash first place prize. Like the first place Bash prize is 500 bucks plus plus a promo, plus a battle board, plus a sleeve. Like first place in the challenges are like barely 300 bucks worth of stuff. And like I have to take the time to like manually convert that to cash. It's not just cash money that they send to me. Like the reasonable tournaments I play in them, like modern Magic is fun. Like I like playing tournaments. Yeah, that's fine. They're still dead on board, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They were dead on board regardless of which one that hit. I'm only countering things that don't make them dead on board. Deal. It's like if they have like a Scars of War or something here. This is still 3, 4, 5, 6, so no reason to counter that. GG's opponent. Well, at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. Thank you everyone that hung out through the end of the stream here. We played some magical cardboard to start, and it looks like Marty Punker is online, so I'm going to go ahead. So that costs what, like $5 to bash to 7? Yeah. And the Magic Online challenges cost $25. And like I've played probably a dozen of them at this point, and I've top 32 or better all but one of them that I've played. So like I'm making money playing the challenges. So like I'm playing them even though they're far worse value than something like the Bash is. But oh, we're level 99. Ooh, another promo Dark Heart. I hadn't bought a second set of Dark Hearts for Krista yet, so I've just been sending her my promo Dark Hearts. 3 random cards, you say. All crap. All crap? All crap. I wish they would really just give you, like, a random rare instead of, like, random draft chafe. I feel like that would be a lot better. At any rate, the Dark Heart Suite, though. Thank you everyone for watching. I will be back on tomorrow morning with my normal Hex TCG stream on Wednesday mornings, and I'll catch you all around later. Thanks, folks.